Hey there, how y'all doing? This is Data and Mrs. Data.
Hello.
Out on a little hike today. We're actually sort of out scouting a route for a 5K and 10K we're going to run next weekend on the Gilman Trail. We don't know if this is the route they're going to take us on, but we think it might be. Or at least part of it will be, we know that. So a week or so from today, next Saturday, I'm going to run a 5K and Mrs. Data is going to run a 10K. And so I haven't updated very much online since I came off trail with late start about a month ago. So the last time I posted something, we were finishing up in Duncannon. So that hike went well. Late start and I hiked 101 miles and he hiked 125 miles of the AT from, in my case, the Pogo Memorial Campsite where I fell down a year or so ago, and Duncannon over the course of a couple of weeks. And you can go watch those videos if you want. I won't go back over each of it, but it was a pretty good hike, but it was a very different kind of a hike because there are a lot of state parks and services, and most of our days were really pretty short. So but that hike puts me up to a total of 780 or 790 miles of the AT now. So then I came home to the Midwest and haven't posted much since then, partly because it is May in the Midwest. So I got home and I got to go to work on my own yard.
Look at all the dappled sunlight in the tree canopy.
Oh, yeah. So if you look at any of my other videos from hiking on the Gilman Trail, you'll probably notice that it wasn't nearly this green even a month ago. So we got a lot of rain. We had kind of an early spring, so I had to get to work on the homestead, planting a bunch of annuals, and I put a couple of new trees in and planted 5 raised beds full of stuff and all that kind of good homeowner stuff around the house. And also we went down to Indianapolis, where we're from, and with our sister-in-law and brother-in-law ran a 5K, ran a half marathon. That's called the Indianapolis Mini Marathon. Starts downtown, runs out around the Indianapolis 500 race course, and then so it was a pretty fun time. Boy, the dappled sunlight is really nice, isn't it? So now I've been just doing these kinds of hikings, trying to stay in shape as I got ready for my next trail hike, and this video is kind of to announce that. So in about a week, on Monday, June 1st, actually, I'm going to head up to Wisconsin. And my next hike is going to be a 125-mile section of the Ice Age Trail. Since I got back actually from the Appalachian Trail, I also went to a conference for the Ice Age Trail Alliance, and that was a lot of fun. I met a lot of 1,000-milers, people who have hiked the whole Ice Age Trail, and I met a lot of people who are trail angels along the Ice Age Trail. I learned some more about how to go about hiking that trail, because it's very different from hiking the Appalachian Trail. And so now I have a plan, with the help of some trail angels, to get myself up there and park my truck in one location and get a couple of shuttles combined down to another. I'm going to hike a 125-mile section from the Kettle Moraine South Unit's headquarters up to a place near Elkhart Lake. So I'll park at the Kettle Moraine South Unit's headquarters and hike up to a spot by Elkhart Lake, covering 123 or 125, depending on where I end up stopping, miles over the course of 7 days. My next video will actually share my food plan and some of the other planning for that, but there's a restoration notice for our local forest preserve in Kane County, Illinois. It's going to be warm enough I'll be able to hike with my lightweight summer kit, probably, so most likely my 50-degree quilt, some lighter weight shoes like my Lone Peak 9 Pluses I'm wearing now. I'll be hiking the Ice Age Trail solo this time, which is usually the case on the Ice Age Trail for me, unless I run into somebody like I have occasionally. It was nice having company of Late Start on the last hike for those 2 weeks, but I hadn't hiked with another person before, so there were some hiking with someone every day for 2 weeks. For me was that I couldn't really just wander around and talk to myself, which I do a lot when I'm hiking, and I couldn't like pick an end point on the day and then change my mind 15 times like I do sometimes. And I don't know, I've gotten to where I really like, having 2 or 3 possible endpoints and then just kind of choosing how far to go depending on how I feel during the day, which, Late Start and I did a little bit of that, but it's a lot harder to do that if you're hiking with somebody else, because you don't really, you don't know if they really want to stop when you do, or if they really want to keep going and you don't, or that kind of thing. And we did a pretty good job of talking our way through those things, but it's a kind of a group compromise exercise that was new to me. And fortunately Late Start was used to that. He's hiked with the other trail families, but myself, I was not really. But a funny thing is that on the Ice Age Trail next week, I won't be able to do that because I have to pick out camping sites ahead of time and actually pay for them and stuff, because there's much more limited camping area along the Ice Age Trail than the part of I'm hiking this time around. So this next 125-mile section of the Ice Age Trail that I'm hiking, to a large extent, runs basically up the far western suburbs of Milwaukee. And so some of the trails are not unlike the trail I'm on today. That is, they go through a big state park that runs up the western boundary of Milwaukee, which means there aren't nearly as many opportunities to do any kind of stealth camping, or it's part of it's going to be over a weekend, so some of the campsites I might want to stay at up on the Ice Age Trail you have to reserve in advance, and some of those were booked up already. So it's a very different hiking experience. But on the other hand, it's a very flat course over the course of those 2 weeks. So I'll probably be doing longer miles, almost certainly. Maybe even much longer miles, we'll see. And I'll be staying in hotels a couple of times. I'll be staying at campgrounds where there are actually toilets and showers and stuff a couple of times. And I think I have a reserved hotel room or campsite at a state campground all but one night. I think there's only one night when I'm actually at just a regular designated camping area that's free and where you don't have to have a reservation. So that's very different as compared to the Appalachian Trail. So it'll be another different kind of hiking.